Justin, you could start us off if you like.
Thank you so much for joining our third episode of the 17 million strong. I can see so many members here today. Welcome, karibuni sana as we dive into our topic of today. Today we are going to focus on the leadership structure of our campaign. That's the 17 million strong. Welcome. Let me give members some few minutes for them to introduce themselves and where they are tuned in from. I can see Msando. Kindly unmute and introduce yourself.
Hello, habari ya kushinda.
Poa.
Aaron from Tana River.
Aaron
Ndio
amekuwa
nimejoin
active. Aaron amekuwa very active. Aaron team yako karibu inajaza watu 21, si ndio?
tuko 22. Na bado kuna wengine bado hawajajoin.
Wanajituma. Mmejituma. Ni gani?
Tumekaa hapo tukiangalia Tana River na watu sema ni kama Tana River is one of the marginalized counties. Kumbe Nairobi ndio kwanza hapo ndio kuna Nairobi ndio iko marginalized.
Mali niko kidogo network iko chini lakini tuko pamoja.
Haina kamambo. Olga.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Olga, Kakamega County.
Kakamega pia wako marginalized. Kakamega unajua karibu amefikisha watu 16 kwa system, si ndio Justin?
Yeah, wanafanya wako sana, so tumesema ni Nairobi ndio tuko marginalized.
So hizi counties zenye like tunawaona kwa media wakirukaruka everywhere, kumbe wao ndio wako marginalized. So anyway, Justin, what if tukianza na hiyo bit, as we always say, our 1 minute moment of silence as we think on that question on the screen. Our moment of silence will always be, think of somebody who you consider your probably role model, your hero, or just somebody who stands for really, really good values in your community. Just do 1 minute and we just think about them and just chill. And then when we come back, we dive onto that for a few minutes and then we get onto the agenda.
All right. Thank you, members, for the 1 minute of silence. I think now we can dive into our topic of today. I hope kila mtu anaona the question on the screen. Let me read for you. If you are given, if you are a philanthropist and you are, let me read it. If you are a philanthropist with cash, Kenya shillings 5 billion, to give to anyone looking to start a business, how could you give it and what could you expect in return? Okay, let me start with Robert Ragat. Unaona hiyo question iko kwa screen? tuseme sasa ni philanthropist, tuko na 5 billion Kenya shillings na umeamua kugive out kwa mtu yoyote, unge expect nini in return from the 5 billion? Before ni jibu, na nataka mtu mmoja kwanza jibu.
Yes. Umesema 5 million.
Billion. 5 billion Kenya
5
shillings.
billion. Yes.
Hiyo ni pesa mingi kwa kila deal.
So unaona as a philanthropist, yenye unaweza fanya upesa kwanza, ufai ku expect anything in return. Hiyo ni kitu ya kwanza, as in, so your goal is to make sure that kila youth, the intended youth, lazima wakuwe na kitu, but issue yenye iko ni kuona kwanza, kama kufanya assessment, kuona kama hiyo pesa ukipeana, kama kuna watu wanaweza tumia poa, ama kuna wenye wanaweza fanyia kwa njia nyingine yenye si ya biashara ama nini. So lazima ufanye assessment kwanza, utafuta kuona youth kwanza kama wanaweza tumia pesa kufanya biashara, kusupport hustle, vitu kama hizo. But kuna wenye wanaweza pewa wafanya vitu vingine, wa spoil madem, wafanya vitu vingine tofauti. Unajua youth ni youth. So kuna mwenye anaweza kuwa na mind yake tofauti. So unafaa ukalisha hao youth kwanza chini, wabongeshe, waulize, usikie views, wako na nini ya kufanya. So hiyo 5 billion unaweza fanya as a group. Unaambia majamaa wafungua sako hivi, wajaribu kuona wa come up na business proposal ya kufanya hiyo yenye wanataka kufanya. Lakini ukiweza pia individual 20,000, 30,000, hiyo expect nothing in return in terms of our youth to grow. Yes.
Thank you so much, Kagat. From your answer, you may capture a few things. The first thing you have said, you have to do assessment. First, you need to assess the people you are going to give out, and you focus more on the youth. Now, my question for you is, what my focus sana na my youth? Na watu above 35 years old. Unasema tu ni my youth.
Yes. Yangu ni ya my youth peke yake.
No. Mbona niko curious kujua.
Hao ndio upcoming, sasa lazima ufocus na hawa.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I can see Lydia. Can they carry on? Na wewe tuambie hiyo 5 billion Kenya shillings.
I just seen at the team. Yeah. So yes, as an inspiring one who is on pipeline, I think definitely I'll look at the practicability of the business plan that they are going to present, and I'll look at few things. First, besides the question is what is the intent? Why am I giving out the money? There's the influence part of it. I want to be known, but again, there's also part of the impact. Which impact am I causing? What is the scalability of this plan that they are giving? Is it even creating jobs for more people? Is it affecting climate in any way? I look at few things, and those are some of the few things that I'll be looking at: the scalability, the impact, and also if it's able to accommodate more people as time moves on. Yes, back to you.
I'm curious to they have a question for you. And can you expect anything in return from the money that you have given out?
Definitely. I'm thinking the intent could be, I want to be influential. It's part of building a legacy.
Okay.
Yes. So the impact will make me definitely, it will help me in my portfolio.
All right. Thank you so much. Sando? Okay. Now it's my time now to answer the question. 5 billion Kenya shillings to give out to anyone to start a business. How could you give it? And what do you expect? The first thing, it's a very tricky question because determining the person I'm going to give out is really a very tough question. But the first thing I will do, I need to assess the needs in society, those people who really need the money and they are willing to start a business. The first thing I consider. Undecha your project ama your business plan, and then I assess, does it make sense? Can it create an impact in society? Number two, what could you give? Anything in return? Yes, I have to expect, because I can't give you my money and at the end of the day, you go and use the way you want. No. What I expect in return now is the impact which you are going to create in society. If I give you 5 billion Kenya shillings, I want to see real change in your community, not only in your community and beyond your community. Let me now give Peter a chance to answer the question.
Mimi hata hizi maswali sizipendi kwa sababu ni ngumu. Sasa Lydia is becoming a philanthropist. So Lydia, you should be my friend. But Msando ulisema, as a philanthropist, like you expect nothing in return.
Sorry, Peter, it's
no.
Robert.
It was Robert. So
yeah.
I want to put up some food for thought for you. I want you to think of Bill Gates and ending malaria or ending polio. Polio, that was for Rotary. And Bill Gates gives money to probably end malaria. And if he was expecting nothing in return, do you think he would give that money? Just we can think around it. So I want to agree with, but you had really good point. My youth too pale. Wengine wataenda kuspoil madem na vitu kama hizo. Hakuna plan, ni kusosi tu hiyo do. But getting it seriously, like Lydia said, there must be an end in mind. There is a legacy you are looking to do. And I will use my case as an example. I advocate for peace, and I want Kenya or Africa to be peaceful. I know in my own right, Justin, I'm a philanthropist. Everybody in here is a philanthropist. Lydia, thank you for reminding us that. But if I'm going to give anything, how is it going to contribute to peace? And what will I get in return? A peaceful country. So I'm not just going to dish the money out for the sake of dishing them and because I'm a philanthropist. There is an end in mind. And how I would give this money? What I will first do, I will map out all entities and all agencies working on peace, and then evaluate their impact along the lines of peace. What have they done to actually help Kenya achieve peace? And then after mapping them out, I look for the best, because I want to fund really best people who can ensure that my money gives me the best return. Now, the world is speaking about, if I'm going to fund you or give you $1, in the lowest I expect is you give me $32 in return. So I want you to imagine that. So I will map them, find the best, and then give them that money in chunks. Not all. I'll give you phase 1, after evaluating and finding out what you guys have done and how recommendation from communities and the results and the things you have done, and then I give you a small amount of money to see how you will make use of that. If you pass that test, then I add you another bunch, meaning I can partner with an entity that can be able to give this money to people who actually deserve it and will give us the result that we want. Justin, hiyo ndio ingekuwa mimi my approach. Sijui kama Roba ama Lily ama Msando wanataka kureact kwa hiyo, but hiyo that is mine.
Okay, so for you,
yes, maybe I can react kidogo. My bro said, for example, use the examples from the people like Bill Gates.
Yeah.
But now when you look at Kenya, we have few people, even few people like Bill Gates. But now in our current society, many people are just looking these issues in a political way. Mtu anaweza kuja hapo anatoa doa akijua some few days watu wataanza kunisifu nikuwe jamaa fulani, unaona. So kuna watu yani ni wachache sana wanaweza fanya hiyo venye kina Bill Gates wanafanya, peace kuwe nini, but hii Kenya yenye tuko saizi ni ngumu kidogo. Yes.
Sasa hapo Roba, Justin, sasa hiyo ndio inafaa. Sasa ukiangalia hii game yenye tuko, that is now where we need to go, and that is now clearly where we need to start getting people to think around that, kwa sababu quick fix haitatusaidia, sio Roba?
Yes.
So pole inafaa sasa hiyo mentality tunaigeuza dogo tu.
That's why kama youth, in fact hii platform ndio inafaa tuongee venye tunaweza change hiyo mentality, venye to change hiyo conversation yenye imekuwa kwa in our society sasa hizi, kujaribu kuchange tuonesha watu wenyewe kuna a different way ya kufanya kitu.
Ndio hivyo sasa.
Yes.
Justin, kwa hii, unless anybody wanted to react on that, by the way, Rita karibu. So what you see on the screen is like our updates. By the way, si kila mtu lazima join easy meetings. Like we will be looking for, if we set a structure, maybe the top leaders for each county joining these meetings and sharing your feedbacks or your contribution from or representing your counties. We are even happy, like having 10 solid people who clearly can give direction. All your members don't have to join, but representative, once that is set, can always be really, really good. So that is giving updates on counties that have representatives so far, which are 43 counties. We only have 4. We don't know if those Justin are marginalized or not. But then total signups, we have 219. So that is so far like an achievement that we've had. And I think Kisumu, Tana River, where I know Haron is there. Kisumu, I know, Kisumu doing really, really well. And they already even have platforms for their group. So what is happening on there, once a team hits 21 members, we create a WhatsApp group for them. And then they can now keep growing that community. And then now the leadership structures will come on once we discuss them. So that is just purely updates that we wanted to put up there. So Justin, something is up there for you, then pick it right away.
Okay, thanks, Peter. So today, our agenda of today is just looking at the structure of leadership. How are we going now to carry this campaign forward? As we said from the first day, we are not leaderless and we are not visionless. So we need to have leaders who we have to hold accountable in case of anything. So from what you can see on your screens, we need the president. We need oh, sorry.
Wait, hang on. Wait. Yeah. Justin, I don't know which screen you are on, but we are on a screen which is saying what is our end in mind. So just to clarify that, Justin, as you get on, is imagine again, you look, it is on data and it is on statistics, 17 million young people in Kenya, 18 to 35. I want you to imagine that. That is the end. Our end in mind is to get these people together. Where their leaders can always come to this platform, share. But at the grassroots, you have people who can't access WhatsApp. They don't have Zoom. They don't have Teams. But at county level, we have these members. So that is how our end in mind looks like. Really, really simple. Get all the young people. You can call them the Gen Zs and millennials. And those generations will always exist. Whether we jump on and get to, those generations will always be there. Okay? So once those objectives, our end in mind is so clear, simple, get the Gen Zs and millennials who are 17 million now to speak as one voice. Just that. Anybody comes and asks you, what is our end in mind? Getting 17 million people together. And once you get them together, they will decide what they want to do. But at the end of the day, we want to ensure that if we are to come in as a block, we need to speak and find out who our presidential candidate might look like. Who exactly are we looking at? You see what I mean? Once that is so clear, we are getting 17 million young people together, and we are voting as a block for young people. So meaning we are bargaining as a community. So if I pause there, Justin, for say just 5 minutes, what do you guys think about that end in mind? Can we tweak it? What can we change? What do you think it might look like? Because that then will give us the leadership structure that we are now going to look at now. You guys can unmute if you guys like. You just unmute and then share your views. If you are to give 17 million strong Kenya campaign an end in mind, what will it look like?
Let me go first. My end in mind for this 17 million strong is that it's time now for youths and millennials to come together and reason as one. What do I mean by saying so? The last time we came together was during the mandamanos and saying that this person must go. No, this time we need to come together and say we need good leadership. And to get a good leadership or good leaders, you have to go and vote. Si time ya kupiga kura kila mtu anasema sina time ya kuenda. No. Now it's time for us to wake up, go and choose leaders who can take our country to the first world countries. Si kila time tunasema tukuje pamoja tuende maandamano. Hapana. This time we need to come together and choose good leaders.
So Justin, what you are saying is, once we get these people, at least all our members must exercise their civic rights by voting.
Absolutely.
So rather than making a lot of noise online and jumping with all sorts of things, chukua kura, enda umake a decision huko kwa ballot. Naona Lydia anasema yeye na my end is great leadership and informed decision. Good. Msando, wewe unasemaje na Roba? Feel free to unmute though. So mkiangalia hii Lydia, endelea.
Yes, I can go next as they think about what they want to say. Just addition to what I've shared, because I think the main goal is first to ensure all of them, the 17 million strong. We have 17 million voters with us who are ready. They already have the requirement to make it happen. And now during that process, that also means they will have the right information, and they will be able to make an informed decision. But regardless, I think from the first meeting, we agreed that we are not telling anyone not to probably support a politician. It is a personal decision for Lydia to choose to support Peter, who wants to become an MP, and also, of course, get financial support. But that should not, I should not make my decision for voting basically based on the financial support. Regardless of the opportunities that I'm going to be having, I should ensure that at the end of the day, I ask myself, what do I want to see in the next 5 years? So that when I'm going on that day to cast that vote, I vote because I know what I want to achieve. So the question is, yes, we already have the votes, but what do you want to achieve in the next 5 years? So that we don't make instant decisions without doing the calculations well.
There
Back
we
to
go.
you,
So
Peter.
yeah, I think that is critical. We want people to be informed, so that when they go making that their vote, they are making it from an informed point of view. Si zile tu za kuruka tu ovyo ovyo alafu. Yani, we want people who can think, and once they think, they can educate others, so they make really, really good decision and inform their friends as well. So as members join, look at the Kenyan system. We want to think a little bit outside the box. As a team, we want to be unique. We want to have unique teams, and we don't want to go these names, for example, MPs, MCAs, and whoever. We want to be unique in our own way. In fact, Justin, you were telling us the president. I don't want to be a president. I would give my, just like example, just me. Now, look at the county structures. And if I'm to add something that for me an end in mind will be, how about even us, people in this group who are interested in leadership, becoming leaders, rather than us going to vote people while ourselves we are not putting ourselves forward. So for me, another end in mind would be, this is a platform that can produce even more leaders, you see, so that it can nurture even more talents, and we can support such leaders like you guys who are yet to make this dream happen. See what I mean? So if you look at the county structures, the Kenyan structures, where we have ward, constituencies, counties, and you look at the titles they have, we might not, somebody in here might be like, I don't want to be a governor, I don't want to be an MP, I don't want the title for this group to be called the president. But I would prefer this one. So I think now that is going to form a really basis of this conversation now here. So if you were to start, what should the leadership structure for this movement look like? And again, this is now open. We could start with, if we were to have the top leader, I know we have co-founders, they could be top leaders if they like, they could. But now here is where now we unite and find who will be speaking for us. Like, let's say if we have agenda and we want to pass it, and we want somebody to go like on a press and make that announcement and things like that, how would we call that person? But I want you to think around this. Don't think long term in terms of this governance structure. You are the leader of 17 million young people, and these 17 million people can contribute 17 billion Kenya shillings to address youth unemployment in Kenya. And all you are looking at is a core team of 11 members. And that core team might have already 4 members who are the co-founders. So meaning you are only looking for another 7 members. Who would these 7 or 11 members be? Let us start with the topmost person. So we make it a little bit tight, and then we are like objective wise. So who will you call the top person? So you just throw names around, and then we will map them, and then we will probably ask people to throw names, and then we will settle with one name. So who should be our top leader? I'm not sure. Are you guys able to hear me by any chance? Or my
Yes,
internet
Peter, we
just
can hear
went?
you clearly. I can hear you from where I am.
Oh, okay. So now these are like now the real things that when you get my youth mahali, hizi ndio sasa vitu zinafaa watu wanaongea. Lakini sasa ukienda pale nje with substance, hapo utawachwa peke yako. Watu wanataka waende sijui waandamane wapi, waende sijui wapi wapi. Sasa hizi ndio like real things inafaa tunaongelea. Sasa hebu you guys mchangie hapa tuone. Pauline, niko tu sawa, internet ni issue, so I think hii ni niko live, so you guys you will catch it. Even Justin I think is on and off. Lydia yake iko solid. Msando pia alisema yake iko tight mahali. Rita sijui kama unatusikia. Roba I think anaweza bonga moja mbili. But quick, how should we call the topmost person for this campaign or this movement? So float the names. So if you float a name, you say why. And today we might just overlap with extra 10 minutes. We keep it tight. But if we get out a bit of like a rough idea of a governance structure, that can be really, really good. And then co-founders can start putting a document together. So bit by bit, such that by the time we finish the recruitment, we have a draft governance structure we can start working on and probably get team leaders and the overall leader for the movement. If anyone is talking, remember to unmute and just speak. So we got national convener. Okay, I'm taking notes. So national convener, because it fits best at this stage. Inclusive, movement-oriented, leadership neutral. It suggests coordination, not control. Sawa. I'm taking notes on that. Well done. What else? National convener. We want to think a little bit outside the box, not what already, like that one is looking like really, really good. So we don't want to go for things that are popular because we are not political movement and we want just to inspire that change. And we want a leader just like Haron has said, no control, we all control each other and we all learn and we all support each other. What other names should we call our head person? Meaning if you go to national convener, you can go to county convener, constituency convener, you can come even to ward convener. So that stands up there. So we are still on the topmost person. How should we call that person? Looking at the magnitude of what we are building. Let's say we are calling it. So the campaign will yes, it's a campaign, but we want to make it like a movement. I want you to think around it, Pauline, as a movement. Yes, campaign can always end, but let's think around campaign director. Campaign ends, so campaign always has got like a lifetime. We want to make this like a movement. So what I'm seeing there is like the director. If I pick that campaign director, but I will put it down, but then I will just want members to think about it. So that I'm only like on with the word campaign because campaign has got like a life frame, but what we are looking at is looking at a bigger picture. Yeah, let me read what Aaron is saying on the chat. So if you don't know Aaron is from Tana River County. So far, the county has got 22 members, meaning they have surpassed the target of 21. And he's saying 17 million Kenya campaign leadership structure. National level, A, national convener, the top leader, provides overall vision, direction, and coordination for campaign across Kenya. National Secretariat, a small dedicated team supporting the convener with national planning, partnerships, communications, and resource mobilization. He then goes ahead and explains the roles may include deputy convener, operations, deputy convener, communications and media, policy and advocacy lead, youth mobilization lead, and secretary to the secretariat. You guys feel free also to contribute. Now, these are the real things that now, if we want to move forward as young people, and when people are talking about policy formulation and all things out there, now this is the real conversation that people really always need to have. Because when people engage on this, the society then co-create the leadership they want. And I think even this should happen with things like now you see going around with the funding and all those structures. But now when you have young people jumping all over the place and cannot even effectively contribute to things like this, there is where the problem starts. Appreciate you there, Aaron, for sharing that. Anyone else before we move on to the other one? Aaron, I've taken that one, so I will keep it somewhere. Anyone in the next 2 minutes? We are still on the top person. And if you have the breakdown of it, please feel free, like Aaron has broken it down for us. And we will find a criteria of finding those individuals. Again, looking at the magnitude of this stuff, taking it one step at a time and building a structure that will support it. All right. So, top person. So meaning you guys don't have any other name, so that we can move on to the next one. Robert, Lydia, Justin, Pauline. How would you call the topmost person? Now, if you
That's
look
why
at
we are
entire,
together, I think.
yeah, okay. So if you look at that, so
Sorry.
Lydia, how would you call that top person? When you say you are together, what
I'm just so I'm just thinking hard. I think never saw that coming because I'm trying to think about also our friendly should be non-political, but again we are also because our target is youth,
Yeah.
so we are looking at also a friendly youth name, a title that
Yeah.
when a young person, a youth looks at it, they are able to resonate with it. So I would support what I don't know his name. Who said that? The guy
Aaron.
was Aaron. And on that, I was also thinking about something like National Youth Catalyst. I don't know how that goes because we are looking. That will be a big title, a national leader who his main role will be more giving direction, the vision, bearer, facilitates, and the person is more, should be a catalyst. Sikumbuki tulikuwa tunasema catalyst inafanya nini in chemistry, but you understand ilikuwa ina accelerate the speed, the reaction.
Yeah.
So that is what I was thinking, because the name should not look so complicated to young people. Yes, we understand they are learned, we are learned, but again, will it relate to mtu mwenye ako kule mashinani, such cases. Sisemi mashinani watu wajasoma anyway, but we should have that. Yes.
Yeah, I think can we give this some time so we just go and as we open like another, we could do mentee where people just throw names on there because the name can be really, really key. We want like a name that will, just like Lydia have stated, that will resonate with this audience we are looking at. So we allow people to give us the name of their leader. And then from there we can see the top 3 and then we all vote the number one. And then we say our leader will be like XYZ. Our leader will be XYZ. And then from there, yeah, so we could create the wall just like we can do on the wall, and then people can have ideas, and then we will settle down. Looking at our end game is uniting Kenyan youth for a better today. And we mean uniting. We mean uniting. So we will give that time. We will see if we can create like a mentee that people can just go throw in a name, and then we will just look the creativity around that, get the top 3, and then from there, then we can land on something. Because if you look at our vision, we want the youth voices to count. But then these youth voices have to be serious. We cannot just say that the youth voices are counting, but they're not contributing anything. Or their voices are only contributing to chaos. That's what we don't want. So we want that voice that can always push people and say, look, my friend, your voice is there, but do you think it should count when it comes that way? We need to at least look at things differently, think differently, and not go the crowd way. That's why you will find we will always be a really, really small group. And that one I can assure you. For this movement as it builds, do not expect like magnitudes to come. No, they will not. But as we build along and we stay persistent and consistent, we will attract the right people. People who will actually see, oh, okay, at least they are making a move. They are doing something. Justin, what do you have to add? And Aaron or Lydia, again, feel free to chime in on there. Today, we might just finish on time, to be honest.
Yeah, thanks, Peter, again. First, I totally agree with what Lydia said. Lazima jina ikuwe ni ya yule mkulima mdogo uko chini, something which they understand, not only a name but the vision of this movement. Juu mtu anaweza understand to 17 million strong what it means, lakini ajui the agenda behind this movement. So let's go and see what we can do and get a very good name which resonates with everyone. even those people in remote areas. Another thing, leadership for me, I continue to say is very key for this movement. We don't need to be leaders. No, we need to have leaders who can guide us on what to do. We can't walk around like a chicken which doesn't have a head. So we need to have a leader mwenye anakuwa accountable and responsible for everything. And again, it's democratic, as I can say, and responsible. Another thing now, when it comes to democratic and responsible, I think another thing which we should add is gender balance. We need to get a lady and a gentleman from each and every county. If we go with counties, if we go with constituencies or ward votes, we need to get a male and a female counter. Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, Justin, I'm glad you brought that gender issue up. And if you look at one of the cards we said, we will not give any preferential treatment to any gender. People have to, from this, I'm speaking my mind, but again, somebody else can counter that. If you put in the work and you get the results that we want, that the movement wants, you have a chance. But what we don't want is people parading that they are men or they are women, and that's why they need a chance. My friend, we think if men or women, like let's say if women can do what men can do even better, then we should all contribute equally and be treated equally. So why that slide is up, who should we be as a movement? So those were just two that were thrown up there. So democratic, responsible, Justin, you are adding gender balanced. So can you throw some thoughts there? So then people can chime in and add. So this is something we will also be looking at. So if people are coming, who are we as a movement? Obviously, we aim to non-political and those things, but who should we be as a movement? Pauline is saying we should be action-oriented. Good. And that is really key because we just don't want to go typing on a group and stuff like that. We got a lot of things we are dealing with. We are not that typing group. We should be action-oriented. So, action-oriented. Anything else? Keep them coming and you can just unmute and add. Because this, at the end of the day, you find people wanting leaders to do things that themselves can't do. An example would be if you ask people to show up for a meeting at 9, some show up at 10, some show up at 11, but then they are here complaining that their leaders are not doing things. So it must again start with us. What we are asking our leaders to do, or if we become the leaders, will we do them? Or we are just there making noise because we read them in an article and we just expect leaders to do things as we ask them to do. You step back and think, if I was in the leadership position, would I be doing the same or will I be playing games? Transparency is coming up, accountability is coming up. Who else? Accountability is coming up as well. Thanks, Pauline. Action oriented again, yeah, we read that. And I think these are like really key areas. So we need to build on this one. So who should we be as a movement? That is really key. So anybody who comes and they bring their things up and they're just bringing, we just send that document to them. Harold is saying, my opinion, we should be united, conscious, and action-driven generation of young Kenyans who understand our power and responsibility in shaping the future of our nation. We are not a political party. We are a people's movement that seeks to mobilize, educate, and empower youth to take part in leadership and governance through voter registration, civic engagement, and issue-based participation. He goes ahead and says, we should be organized, working together from ward to national level with working together from ward to national level with clear coordination. And then informed, guided by facts, ideas, and values that promote good governance and accountability. Inclusive, embracing all youth, regardless of tribe, religion, gender, and background. And then visionary, focused on long-term change, not short-term politics. And then peaceful and patriotic, promoting unity, integrity, and love for Kenya. And then he says, in short, we should be the voice and energy of new Kenya. One where youth don't wait to be led, but lead with purpose, discipline, and vision. Lydia says, the change agents. So really, really good insights here. So I think, again, this is another document we could create. We could have, again, just like Pauline said, we could create a space where, again, members can have a chance to go through in their ideas. We pick those, put them in one document, and then we can continue working on that. So you guys keep those coming. And I think it will be really, really nice again.
Teacher, I have a question, maybe not a question, just a clarification. When we say in terms of inclusivity, it cuts across so many areas. And I'm thinking of this, like, can we get a millennial to represent the millennials? Because I know we can't ignore the fact that they have done these things before, and they are there to guide us and give us wisdom.
Justin, are you referring to intergenerational sort of thing or what?
Exactly. Somehow, like getting a millennial to represent the millennials, sometimes they can guide us and give us the words of wisdom. This is how you do these things.
Okay. I think that is very, Lydia will, yeah, good. Lydia might be smiling at that when she hears about intergenerational. Yes, there are millennials in the group, Pauline says. So yeah, we could have a structure where mentors. Oh, go for it, Lydia.
No,
we got 8 more minutes.
You can hear me? Justin, kwani mimi unaniweka wapi?
A Gen Z.
No, I just wanted Justin to know that I'm not a Gen Z.
All right, okay.
Sorry, but
kuna millennials kwa hii group.
You are a Gen Z.
Usilete nini hapa wewe.
Okay, Lydia, fine.
Yeah. So then you look, how should members engage such that no one person holds like the movement back. So you look at the structure where we are building. If like we have a constituency group, for example, we are talking about, for a start, we want to make it like really, really lightweight. We are having national and the county level. So for now, what I see, in my opinion, and based on like what we have engaged on, we don't want to like stress a little bit. We want national and then go to county, and then these counties will spread down. So at first, how could we might be setting the national level, which is shaping up nicely. And then the counties is where like now real things happening. Like you see now what Kakamega, you see what is happening in Tana River. Now those counties now can start operating, doing their things, and not waiting for the national group to guide them on what to do. Guys, we've come together. How are we going now to discuss ourselves to get to our target? Get to 100 people, get to 150 people, get to 1,000 people, get to build our community, and then think of what we are doing. Now, just roughly one idea or two, because we are aiming to end in the next 6 minutes. Just a rough idea. How should members engage such that no person holds people back? Just a rough idea of what you think. Pauline, Justin, please feel free to jump on. My opinion, let me read the one on the chat. My opinion at a county level, county convener leads the movement in each of the 47 counties, coordinate water mobilization, civic education, and grassroots activities, supported by the deputy county convener, media, and public. Yes, Haron is still explaining a bit about his points up there. So appreciate that. Justin, you are going on.
Of engagement, I think that each and every county should have their own engagement, but in a month, maybe twice or once, we need to have now a national engagement session. Like, let's say if it's a Nairobi County, they can have every Sunday. If it's every Sunday, no, they can, the first Sunday of the month, they have their engagement. Now we come into constituency within, again, Nairobi County, they have their own engagement sessions. And from the constituency, now we go to ward. So it means each ward have their own engagement. Each constituency have their own engagement. But at the end of the day, they come together as a county and have one engagement. And from there, as a county again, all the 47 counties, we come together to have one engagement again as a national or regional movement. Yeah.
All right. Members, what do you guys say on that?
Kindly let me know if I'm clear.
Yeah.
I think just in the same way state agencies operate with the national offices, the headquarters offices and the regional offices, that's why I think we're talking about having a structure, because the activities at the county levels will not be super independent. They will be the national team will have to come up with a program that will now go down to the county level. That's why in our last meeting I was saying the county representatives, once they have been onboarded alone, they're supposed to ensure that there's actually a balance in terms of the constituency members present in those groups, because you can't have wards convening or constituencies convening if there's no balance in terms of representation. And we may not be able to build on that because of time today, but I shared something on the conversation. The slide you shared on what we are supposed to be as a movement, kindly will allow us to also bring it up in our next session, because these are the conversations that will actually help us to actually even generate a constitution for this movement. So whatever will be happening at the county level or constituency level, as much as it will be independent but not super independent, it will also be guided by the national team.
All right. I think that is critical because
I totally agree.
Yeah, carry on.
I totally agree with what you say. No, it should not be independent in any way. Like in a month, we have 4 Sundays, let's say. The first Sunday, we can say it's awards engagement sessions, and we have to set up the topic which they have to engage in. The next Sunday is constituency engagement session, and the topic again is set by the national level. And so that we can have uniformity of our topics. Yes, sometimes you'll get each county or each constituency faces challenges which are not the same, but again, we need to guide them. They can discuss their own challenges, but in a way which brings uniformity in all counties. And at the end of the month, every Sunday, you have a session now for all the 47 counties. We come and engage on all the topics which they engaged from the first week to the last week, which is the 3rd week.
Okay. I'm thinking like you see what you guys are saying is very much in order, but we want a uniform structure. Like let's say where you realize for this meeting, I think it will be much of the top leaders. Like let's take an example what Haron has stated, the conveners. Here is where the conveners have met their people, whether they meet on Teams, whether they meet on Google, not our problem. But now here is where we set the agenda, and we cannot meet every single week at the national level. We could even just meet once every month. So meaning what Justin you are saying, in between, people are engaging at the county level, people are engaging at the constituency level, but ensuring that their county convener comes at the national convening meeting, which happens once every month. And as time goes by, it can be even after 2 months, if you see what I mean. But representing the opinions and the projects and the ideas happening at the county level. So we just need one big structure that sits at the top and then add on what Pauline is saying, this is now what is trickled down to the ward level. So we know when the ward team, for example, if you have a national team with say 5,000 members, and 100 members are coming from ward XYZ. So this ward meaning they have a constituency. So meaning this ward can now come up with an initiative and work towards that initiative at their community level. And then if they realize that they are coming from a constituency and they're like, let's say 100 of them, they can pick the structure, develop an initiative, and champion that. And that comes up to the county level, where how many wards do we have? Each ward, how many people do they have? What are they doing? And this is the structure they follow to deliver this particular impact. And I think what is on there, if Pauline, I think that is what you are trying to put across. If I'm not wrong, you can chime in before we just wind this up for today.
The ideas are very good, and it's good that both of us are actually sharing, because from where I'm seated, I'm actually synchronizing your idea, Justin's idea, Haron's idea, and I think if we are to collectively pull our ideas together, we'll have a structure, because at the end of the day, we will not be able to reach out to respective members of the county. That's why we'll need to have a discussion or get feedback from the county representatives, who will give us feedback based on the synchronized agendas that the national team will have shared. So the ideas are good. I'm getting the picture of how it's supposed to look. And if we can, these are conversations you're still supposed to build on so that you have a clear pathway. So it's a good discussion.
Good one. Justin or Harold, I see you've typed something. Justin, do you want to add something so we can just wind it in the next 3 minutes?
Peter?
Yeah, do you want to add something before we wind up?
Okay, Peter, I know so many members have registered, but now what now we need to look at is the ward defaults and the constituency. Because if we are going to set up a leadership structure, sometimes you might find out that in some constituencies, we don't have members, and you can't now set the leadership in that constituency. After getting members from all the 47 counties now, we need to go out and find members from every constituency, the 290 constituencies in Kenya. And from there, we go to ward defaults, which are more than 1,400 and something, and get members, at least 5 members or 10 members from each ward. That will make it easier for us to set up leadership structure from the grassroots until to the national realm. Yeah, thanks.
Let me jump on that one. Justin, I think you look at what we have, because like, think of what Pauline is doing in Kakamega, think what you are doing in Kajiado, and think what Heron is doing in Tana River. At the end of the day, people come from a county. So at this stage, we do not want to overwhelm ourselves. First, we want to focus at national level. You can call that year one. Year one, let us build the national level where people come from. If you are coming from Nairobi County, for now, just Nairobi County. And then once the Nairobi County is formed, you will realize that members will be gelling and saying, oh, you come from Kawangware. Oh, you come from Embakasi. Oh, you come from Westlands. Oh, where you come from. So you will realize that themselves, they will now be going and finding people within their constituencies and forming their groups. But they know very well that they all belong to Nairobi County. So I think for us, it will be a matter of setting the national structure. And that structure can be at the county level, it can be at the constituency, it can be at the ward level. And as Pauline said, these are now the conversation we want to have. So as we bring it to an end, and just leave for members who will watch this, so you ensure you share this with your group and communities, ensure they watch it. So we want to encourage members to go and get their voters registration card by 29th of October, because for the voting and the selection of the leader or the convener or whoever that title will be, only those who have votes will vote that particular leader. So if you need to win and you want to lead us, you must have a vote to be able to vote these leaders that we will be voting. So here we will be exercising our democratic rights, and you can only do that if you have a vote. So do not be left out for this round one of voter registration. Go out, register, and encourage members to register. If you have members you want to bring to the movement, please go ahead. So anybody with any parting shot, time is on your side to jump on and share, and then we can call this session a session as we still aim to get 329 members. I think deadline is here, but we know we are at 280. So we need to extend that a little bit. So any final words? Pauline says, good night. And for me, I just think this is really, really huge and good progress that we are making here. So let us get the ball rolling. Justin, do you have any parting shot? Or?
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. We really do appreciate your time and for joining this session. It has been a very engaged and fruitful session, I can say, because the agenda of today you have discussed. Let's go out now and get more members, as many as we can, for our counties. And when we meet next, at least you have 2-3 members. That will be good. Thank you and have a good night.
Yeah, okay, good one. So I think with that, we can call this a day, and then we catch up next time. Thank you all, and see you guys very soon.